Put me back there.
How old are you? Will you check this shit off my face?
Hello guys and welcome to Nollywood Hot Sauce. Today we're counting down the top 5 things you may have missed while watching Gangs of Lagos. And just a little heads up for those who haven't seen this movie, beware of major spoilers ahead. Alright, so let's get right into it. At number 5 we have the neck piece. Alright, so basically from the onset of the movie we see Nino taking a liking to a young Obalola, which eventually led to him kind of adopting him. I use the phrase kind of because there were no paperwork and all that, so yeah, they got very close and did almost everything together like any typical father and son, until the tragic passing of Nino, which was just super sad. Anyways, the first scene with the much older Obalola shows him, Gift and Ify in a cemetery. Apparently they were paying homage to a man who was more than a father figure to the three of them. But what you probably did not notice was that the necklace Obalola was wearing formerly belonged to Nino, and he will go on to wear this necklace till the very end of the movie, which is just so. This again shows us just how close they both were. Number 4, the sleeper cell. I don't even know how a lot of people missed this part while watching, but when Ify was driving Kazeem to BJ's barbering saloon, it was just him and Kazeem in the car. But after the shootout between London and Kazeem went down and the whole crowd dispersed, we can see 2 extra men running into Kazeem's car. Apparently what you didn't notice or wasn't paying attention to was the fact that those 2 men were already seated by the saloon even before Kazeem and Ify arrived. One of them even called Ify by his stage name, Panama, which got Ify kind of confused. My guess is Kazeem had them there to spy on London and his entire gang. Number 3, what happened to Nino's wife? Okay, so it wasn't made crystal clear to us that these 2 were actually married, but from all indications they were lovers and obviously lived together. And when Nino introduced Obalola to her for the first time, he introduced him to her as their new son. And just like Nino, she also took Obalola in with both hands and became a mother figure to him when he needed one. Now what you probably did not notice again was that after Nino's death, she was nowhere to be found. And that's just weird, because not only was she never shown again, she was never mentioned or talked about, which is just crazy, man. Like. Number 2, Ify's plan. Alright, so when Ify went to BJ's apartment to warn him about Kazeem, at first it looked like he was waiting for Obalola because they both came up with a plan to handle the whole BJ situation together. But having another look at how it all went down, I think Ify had another plan. Because first, the initial plan was to go there with Obalola, but he went there by himself. And secondly, while he was waiting outside BJ's apartment, something happened that most of you guys definitely missed. Apparently BJ had a female guest over, but she wasn't just there to have a good time with BJ, she was Ify's spy. If you look closely here, you'd see her gesturing to Ify that BJ was alone. So surely Ify had a plan, but sadly enough it led to his tragic death. Number 1, the police force. Alright, so it's really fun to think that a movie with so much violence, mayhem and bloodshed could get away with this, but guess what, it actually did. The absence of any law enforcement in this movie is mind-blowing. Like, people, come on, how can there be no police or any law enforcement in this kind of movie? Mind you, I'm not trying to criticize this masterpiece or anything like that, but only pointing out things you might have missed or didn't notice at all.